All right, Shalom. Call all y'all about Shem Shah. Shalom to the Lex. Salaki if I end up covering the mic or something. I'm holding the phone a certain way. I was just online, just looking at random news clips, different videos and stuff like that. And I happened to get a notification from a response that I put on a video. And it's crazy because I was just mentioning about how Eve be. You got Esau, that be our enemy. Then you got Eve on the hop of the mix. Now, I don't know if this is an Edomite woman or whatever, but whoever it may be. So, on the comment section, let's see where I want to go at. Let's see if I can actually read it. The only reason I'm making this because it kind of triggered me to make something just to back up what I was speaking on and go more into detail. Because normally, when you have conquerors, or like they call them, what's the other word they call them? I'm trying to think of the exact term for it. Colonizers. They come colonize, they change your name and they change the land name. And that's no secret. So, let me go to this real quick. I'm about to go to it on YouTube, so I can give it a minute. Now, you had a city council meeting or whatever, and the guy was acting out in there or whatever. Now, I just basically put this on there just to see what type of response I get. I was using guile, like how I mentioned in the scriptures. But it says the name Jacksonville came from Andrew Jackson. So what? They gonna change the city name? And I laughed and said, nah, people need to remember how these people were and are today. Because right now, Esau trying to do like a smear campaign and hide out from who they are and what they did. Then when you bring that shit up, they be like, oh, no, it wasn't us. That was our ancestors. That was our great-great-great-grandfathers. But they are their great-great-grandfathers. We all come back. We was here before. So when we mention our ancestors, we actually are our ancestors. There's no new thing under the sun, like the scriptures mention. So I got a few little responses. I ain't gonna read all the responses, but we got Eve on here popping up. She said that's a lie. Jacksonville was named way before Andrew was even born. Lord Jesus, you need to explore your history. But I know the fucking history. So I had to respond to this just so she can realize, like, hey, lady, I don't know who the fuck you think I am, but I know some history, though. I ain't gonna say I know it all. No man know it all, but I know a lot, though. But it said 1822, Jacksonville was named for Andrew Jackson. And this all, you go pull it up, it's all over. And the only reason why I found this out, because I was watching the news, and they said it on the news, so I'm like, let me go fact check this shit and see exactly what they talking about. So is they lying too? I don't know. Is all these other outlets lying? No, they ain't lying. Because when you do the actual research on it and look up the documentaries or whatever, the tribes that's known as the Seminoles and what else I want to say is like the Choctaw and the Shawnee or Swanee, or I may be pronouncing it wrong. Primarily the Seminoles. When slaves were going down there, so they're gonna take refuge and hide out from Esau. Whenever they try to go down there and invade, they couldn't fuck with the Seminoles. They was fucking them up with that guerrilla warfare. They're catching them out there in them swamps, out there in them woods and all that. So it was a point of time when Andrew Jackson was in power, he had to actually send down more infantry down there. And then that's when they had the little treaties and all that. Then they wrote the treaties. You know how Esau get down. They do the same old shit. Make a treaty. As soon as you turn your back, they stab you in the back. It says Jackson was the military governor of the Florida Territory. Jacksonville became an official port of entry in 1822. Since then, the city has grown as a national logistics center, and it's still like that today. You got Mayport, I want to say Jacksport. And let me go on some more. Let me see now. I pulled this up just for edification's sake. Oh, and you got this movie called Emancipation right there. If you ain't check it out, check that movie out. They ain't been promoting it like that since Will Smith went and slapped Chris Rock. But fuck that slap. That movie actually a good movie, and they talk about what they was doing down there in Louisiana. Now you got the info right here, historical facts. This ain't no opinion. Cause see, Eve, and when we say Eve, we just be talking about the nigga women or the women in general. Eve like to be emotional. I feel like this and all that. They don't want to go with the facts. You got facts all over, historical facts. Why is Jacksonville named after Andrew Jackson? Who named Jacksonville? From the archives, I remember Andrew Jackson, Jacksonville's namesake. What's in a name? A historical look at Jacksonville on his 198th birthday. And this wasn't that long ago. That's why I made that comment. People need to remember how they were and how they are still. Hey, that shit ain't changed. Motherfuckers be forgetting because they get them goodies. Like I mentioned in the previous video, a gift destroys the heart. You go whoop a motherfucker ass. Just like, okay, for example, dude got his girlfriend, right? He abusing her and beating her up. She all bruised up and shit. This nigga go out and go get a new car. What's she gonna do? She gonna stay her ass home and she gonna want to drive that new car. And like the scriptures say, a gift destroys the heart. And that just goes on. It ain't even just from a female perspective. Same thing with a dude. Dude get into some situations, whatever, have some people that's so-called friends, and they connive and fuck them over, but then they turn around and give them something nice. He gonna be cool with them motherfuckers. They ain't gonna stop messing with them. A gift destroys the heart. So let me go to the other one. Let me see. Now, America is named after who? Amerigo Vespucci. So when people be like, oh, I'm African American. No, you're not. Them names don't even fit us. That one what we was calling ourselves back then. It says the Italian explorer Salaki, who set forth the then revolutionary concept that the lands that Christopher Columbus sailed to in 1492 were part of a separate continent. Now, let me see. Now I gotta pull that up too, because I got that mark right here. That's why you have areas like Colombia. You got Colombia all over the place. From South America up to damn Carolina. Then you go to come up here in Ohio, you got Columbus. Now it says Columbia / Christopher Columbus. Columbia is named after Columbus, but not in a way that you might think. The name Columbia dates back to Francisco de Miranda, a revolutionary who sought to overthrow Spanish colonial rule in late 18th and early 19th century Latin America. Now you scroll down some more. It says, how did Columbia get its name? The word Columbia comes from the name of Christopher Columbus, which is actually Cristobal Colon in Spanish, Cristobal Colon in Catalan, Christophe Colon in French. And it just goes on more and more. I ain't gonna read all the different languages. But you get the picture, man. Esau goes somewhere, they take that shit over, they so-called colonize, and they change the names. That's how you know who is who in these scriptures right here. Now you go to the book of Psalms, chapter 83, it's verse 2, it says, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Who hate who? You have to ask these questions. Who hate who? Who did all the lynching and the burning and the whipping and the splitting families up, the raping the kids and throwing babies out there? Hey, I'm from Florida, so I know about them gator stories. Throwing them babies out there to them gators and shit. The women be pregnant, they cut the stomachs open and take the baby out and stomp them and toss them out there to the gators. This history, this Esau history. That's why they don't want us to know about that shit. But hey, man, they fucked up. They shouldn't have let us get these phones. They shouldn't have let us get these computers, these libraries, and all this other stuff, man. Cause now, you see, I'm screen recording this. Information is just right there. If you use it for that, or you can use this for folly too. But a wise person gonna use this for some good stuff. It says in verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. That's why people call themselves, I won't say they, because it's our people. We call ourselves all these different names. But it don't even actually fit us. Because most of the names come from so-called colonizers. In verse 5 it says, but they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Oh, why that word confederate in there? Who got that Confederate shit all over the place down south? Now, verse 6, it says the tabernacles of Edom. And that's the main one. I ain't even got to read the rest. They the head honcho of this shit. Edom. And then you go into the sons of Edom. Who is one of the main top houses of Edom? Amalek. And you see Amalek name right there. That's who over there in that land right now, Amalek. But nah, they try to play these little word games. That's why you got to do your homework, do your research, learn these different languages. And, before I end this off, try not to ramble on too much more. Thanks, Eve. You inspired me to do this video because I wasn't even going to do this. But I'm just going to do it for edification's sake. Whoever Eve is, she put, Lord Jesus, you need to explore your history. Well, lady, you must not know your history too, because his name not Jesus. Back then, let me pull it up. What language was they speaking? So you gotta be precise when you search this stuff up. What languages were spoken on the Pentecost in Acts chapter 2? It says, for the people who had made the trek to Jerusalem for Pentecost, H was for Hebrew, L was for Aramaic or Greek. What English at? Hold up, let me look some up. I don't know. Maybe they might be lying or something. I gotta double check this. Which languages were spoken by those gathered in Acts? Let's go to it some more. We gotta scroll down. It says Hellenists were Greek-speaking Jews. Hopefully they don't take this video down for this. No, Esau, get down, man. Damn, man, Esau be doing their little stuff. But anyway, they said who were born elsewhere other than Judea. That's how you know our people. Just like now, our people in a Hellenist mind state or a Gentile mind state. We one thing, but we conduct ourselves as something else. That's basically what they was doing back then. Same thing, no new thing under the sun. Oh, here we go. Language is spoken at Pentecost, and I ain't even gonna go all the way through this. I'm gonna put this last precept out of this and end this off. That says in Jerusalem, the language is frequently spoken in Hebrew and Aramaic. Aramaic was a local dialect closely related to the Hebrew and other Middle Eastern. That's why, his name wasn't Jesus. His name is Yahweh Shai. And if you actually read the scriptures, it actually give you little hints and tell you what his name is. You just gotta read the whole book, eat the whole roll. Let me get this right. This is in the Apocrypha, which the Apocrypha is accurate. In the book of Ecclesiasticus 1, and I'm gonna just go down. They don't have the actual numbers on the side, but I'll go to the main part. Now, it says, wherefore, let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention, and to par in verses wherein we may seem to come short of some words which we have labored to interpret. Because you got a lot of words that mean multiple things. You have one word can mean 4 or 5 different definitions. That's basic English, but a lot of people don't like to think about that, resort to that, and actually be like, hold on, let me make sure, let me see what this means in this language. Let me see what's the other secondary meaning? What's the primary meaning? And so on and so on. Now it says, for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. That's why you have to know these languages. Even when you pray, you say your prayers in Hebrew, I guarantee you they get answered quicker. Guarantee you. compared to if you're saying them in English. And once again, Esau took away our heritage from us, so we don't know this stuff. Because if we know this stuff, then they can't rule over us. But if we don't know this stuff, they can do whatever they want. They can tell us whatever they want to tell us. But now the jig is up. But you still got some people that still be simple or whatever. So it is what it is. Let me get one more preset and I end this up. Let's see, that's the last one. See, this set up perfect because the people you least expect to know this type of information know this information. That's in the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 7. It says, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So you got a lot of people that's running around blind. Hey, looking for answers. The answer's right here. Answers is right here. Matter of fact, let me get this. Get one more thing. Give me 1 minute, because this word sensitive, so I gotta type it in a certain way. Go all the way down because I know there's a lot of precepts for this, just for that word. And when you read the scriptures and it mentions the wicked, it's talking about Esau. That's why I was talking to somebody about this recently as I'm looking for this. I speak on this. People say that book was written by so-called white men. They didn't read it. And every person that say that, I bet you if you ask them, did they read the whole book? They're gonna tell you no. If they read the whole book, they'll know who the wicked is. I'm talking about Esau red ass. Now, let me scroll down some more. Give me 1 minute. Do momento. Look at this, man. Look at all these precepts talking about the wicked. Talking about Esau, man. I wasn't even trying to pull all this stuff. Hey, everything happened for a reason. I wasn't trying to just pull all that up like that, but it happened. Let me see. be overlooking it. So Salakia. Give me a minute. Which I know it by heart in my mind. I just want to get the numbers just for edification's sake. Okay, here we go right here. That's what I look for. I don't know why they pop up on the other part, but it is what it is. It says, Ecclesiasticus 39:24 says, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. You tell a person like, hey, his name wasn't that back then. That wasn't what they was calling him. They weren't running around Pentecost at Jerusalem talking about no Jesus. They were saying Yahweh. But you tell a person that now, they can't even grasp that. It's a stumbling block. But if a person got the spirit on them, the Most High dealing with them, it'll be plain to them. It'll make sense. Like, you know what? You're right. They were speaking a different language back then. So, I just want to bring this up since I happened to had a little back and forth on a little comment board. I don't want to run this out. This edifying. Call all y'all about Shalom to the elect.